DFS and Vincent were insane last night. Vincent and Finney Smith were absolutely locked in last night. Together, they poured in 40 points and drilled 12 of their 24 threes. That's 50% from deep. Combined, and they were responsible for 75% of all the Lakers made threes in the game. Their shooting gave the Lakers the exact boost they needed in that 104-98 win over the Rockets. When they were both on the court, the Lakers outscored the Rockets by 18.6 points per 100 possessions. That kind of combined net rating is no joke. The duo didn't just light it up from three, they stayed efficient everywhere. They combined to go 4 for 4 from the line, barely missed from 2-point range, and helped anchor the defense while the starters rested. And this wasn't just any random hot streak either. It was the first time since the year 2020 that 2 Lakers bench players hit at least 6 threes each in the same game. They delivered elite production without forcing anything. The numbers told the full story. Gabe Vincent came off the bench and gave the Lakers instant offense. He scored 20 points in just 24 minutes and went 6 for 14 from the field. All but one of those makes came from beyond the arc. He drilled 6 of 13 threes. That's 46.2% from deep. He also knocked down both of his free throws and posted a true shooting percentage of about 67.2%. His effective field goal percentage landed at 64.3%, and he made every touch count. He was efficient and aggressive, finishing with a usage rate of around 20%, way higher than his usual mark. His estimated player efficiency rating sat at 22.1, which blew past his season average. His game score hit 8.0. On the floor, the Lakers were plus 12.4 with him in the lineup, and he personally finished the night with a plus 8, second best among all Lakers bench players. Defensively, Vincent added 1 steal, 1 block, and helped hold the Rockets guards to just 31.2% from deep. He averaged 0.83 points per minute, showing just how effective he was in a short burst. His offensive rating was estimated at 120. He did everything they needed from a scoring guard without ever forcing the issue. Now Dorian Finney-Smith was just as sharp. He also scored 20 points and made 6 of 10 from beyond the arc. He only took 1 shot from inside the arc and hit that too. He knocked down both of his free throws and ended with a true shooting percentage near 87.5%. His effective field goal percentage was 85%, which is just ridiculous for a forward. He was dialed in all night. 4 of his 6 threes came from screen action off Luka pick and pops, and he punished the Rockets' slower defenders every time. His offensive rating was estimated at 125, and he brought plenty on the other end too. Defensively, he guarded multiple positions, including Jalen Green, who shot just 6 for 18 from the field. Finney-Smith made it hard for anyone to get comfortable. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during this season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, DFS. In crunch time, he was steady, hitting 2 clutch free throws with just over 3 seconds to go and finishing with a plus 5 in those final minutes. His box plus minus was around plus 6.0, and his single game win share estimate was about 0.15, which is massive for one night of work. His season average is just over 1, so this performance definitely stood out. The combined efficiency, floor spacing, and defense from those two swung the momentum every time they were on the floor. They didn't just fill in gaps, they created advantages. And with both of them playing at that level, it changed the entire flow of the game. They did it all by staying within themselves, making smart decisions, and letting the stats speak for the impact they had. But it gets really interesting when you dive deeper into these two, especially how when they play good, the Lakers are so much better. Let's start with DFS. When Dorian Finney-Smith plays well, the Lakers turn into a completely different team. It's not just about his scoring. It's about how every part of the game improves when he's locked in. In the 18 wins where he scores at least 10 points, they've only lost 5 times. That's a win rate of over 78%, and it's not a coincidence. His true shooting percentage jumps to 65.1% in those games, which is a big leap from his season average of 58.3%. His effective field goal percentage also climbs from 56.7 to 62.4. That kind of leap in efficiency opens everything up. Whenever he hits at least 3 threes in a game, the Lakers' offensive rating rises from 112.1 to 118.6. That's 6.5 more points per 100 possessions just because of his shooting. That's not something you can overlook. His presence alone creates more space for everyone else. Over the last 10 games, he's been hitting over 43% of his catch and shoot threes, and that keeps the defense stretched. The Lakers as a team shoot 35.2% from deep normally, but when Finney-Smith is on the floor, that number jumps to 39.1%. It's not that he's taking more threes than others. He just makes every shot more open for his teammates. He's not just spacing the floor. He's changing the way defenses have to rotate. That's huge for a fifth option. When he shares the floor with Luka or LeBron, those lineups have a net rating of plus 12.4. Without him, that number drops to plus 6.7. That's almost a 6-point swing. And that tells you exactly how valuable his minutes are. And it's not like he's out there just soaking up space. He's productive, smart, and efficient with every possession. On the other side of the ball, he's just as important. When he's the primary defender at the rim, opponents shoot 5.2% worse than the league average against forwards. That's a real drop-off. And when he records 2 or more steals or blocks in a game, the Lakers give up only 104.3 points per game. Compare that to their season average of 110.1, and the difference is clear. His energy and rotations make a major difference. The Lakers also benefit from his ability to play different positions. Small ball lineups with him at center have a defensive rating of 108.9. That's better than the team's average of 110.6. When he plays at least 30 minutes, the opponent's effective field goal percentage drops from 53.1 to 50.3. That's a lot of missed shots because of his defensive pressure, help, and switching. Even when compared to other fifth options around the league, he stands out. But it's his shooting and impact numbers that set him apart. He's shooting over 40.5% from deep and holds a net rating on and off the floor of plus 6.1. That's the highest among the group. And when it comes to win shares per 48 minutes, he's at .112, which tops the list. That means he's contributing to wins more consistently than guys in similar roles. Those numbers reflect effort, awareness, and the ability to play winning basketball without needing the ball every possession. He's also clutch when it matters. In those last 5 minutes of tight games, he shoots 42.9% from 3. That's up from his regular season average. When he's in those lineups late in the game, the Lakers are plus 7.3 per 100 possessions. Without him, they're just plus 2.1. That's more than 5 points better with him on the court in clutch time. Since joining the team, the Lakers are 12-1 against Western Conference teams. His plus-minus across those games is plus 219. That's the best on the team during that stretch. Every time he's on the floor, good things happen. He's not the guy getting all the attention, but he's the one holding everything together. He's also played in 43 playoff games with Dallas, and his postseason net rating is plus 5.2. That shows he's not just a regular season contributor. His impact carries over when the stakes get higher. He doesn't shrink in pressure moments, and he brings that same defensive focus and floor spacing when every possession matters most. When Dorian Finney-Smith is playing well, the Lakers' offense becomes way more efficient, and the defense tightens up across the board. Their team shooting improved, their spacing improved, their pace improved, and they allow fewer points. That's not a coincidence. His versatility gives them more lineup options, more ways to play, and more flexibility to adjust to opponents. He doesn't need to score 20 every night, he just needs to be himself. When he does that, the numbers explode in the Lakers' favor. He takes smart shots, rarely turns it over, and defends every possession like it's the most important one. His value shows up in every advanced metric. He might be the fifth option, but his presence boosts 4 other players around him. The Lakers can go bigger or smaller depending on who he's sharing the floor with, and that kind of roster freedom starts with guys like him. When you look across the league, there just aren't many fifth options who give this kind of consistent value. His shooting, defensive versatility, and ability to play with any lineup make him one of the best in that role. He gives the Lakers a steady foundation no matter who else is on the floor. The efficiency, the spacing, the rebounding, the contests, it all adds up. And the results speak loud. The Lakers are at their best when Dorian Finney-Smith is doing exactly what he did last night. He hits threes, plays strong defense, and keeps the game balanced. And when he's rolling, the Lakers don't just win, they dominate. And the thing is, we can do the exact same thing for Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent's role might not look flashy on the surface, but the deeper you dig into the numbers, the more valuable he becomes for the Lakers. Even though he's only averaging 6.6 points per game, his impact shows up all over the advanced stats. He's shooting 40.6% from the field and 36.2% from 3. But what really stands out is the volume. Over 72% of his field goal attempts are from beyond the arc. That's a massive chunk, and it's by design. The Lakers rely on him to space the floor, hit catch and shoot threes, and play strong defense. His effective field goal percentage is 53.7%, and his true shooting percentage lands at 54.4%, which is slightly below average for point guards, but not bad considering his shot profile. In his last 2 games, he's averaged 17.5 points while hitting 10 out of 19 threes. That's 46.7% from deep, which is elite for any player, let alone a backup guard. He's clearly heating up at the right time, and that kind of burst off the bench gives the Lakers a scoring threat they badly need in their second unit. When you compare him to other reserve point guards across the league, his three-point shooting and defensive contributions help him hold his own. Guys like Tyus Jones, Dennis Schroeder, and TJ McConnell all bring more traditional playmaking. But Vincent's job isn't to run the offense, it's to space the floor and defend. And he's doing that well. His assist-to-turnover ratio is 2.3, which ranks last among that group, but he makes up for it in other ways. His net rating when he's on the floor is plus 4.1, higher than everyone except McConnell. That's the kind of stat that really shows how well he fits in with the Lakers core. On the defensive end, Vincent is just as important. He holds opponents to 31.2% from three when he's the primary defender. That puts him in the top 20% among all point guards. He has a steal rate of 1.5% and a block rate of 0.9%. He's not racking up steals like McConnell, but he's staying in front of his man and contesting every shot. The Lakers' defensive rating improves by 3.2 points per 100 possessions when he's on the floor. That's a clear sign he's making things harder for opposing guards. Compared to other backup guards, his deflections per 36 minutes sit at 2.1, which is right in the mix. And at the rim, he's forcing opponents to shoot 5.2% worse than their season average. That's the best among his comparison group. It's one thing to chase around shooters, it's another to make sure they're not converting. Vincent's doing both. His role in the offense is also specific. He's only averaging 1.4 assists per game, and his assist percentage is just 8.8%. That's low, but it reflects his usage rate of only 13.7%. The Lakers are using him primarily as a shooter. 62% of his threes come from catch and shoot situations. That's where he's most valuable. He's not expected to run the pick and roll or break down defenses. He just needs to make shots and guard his man, and he's doing both efficiently. Compared to high assist backups like McConnell and Jones, Vincent isn't going to rack up playmaking stats. McConnell has 5.3 assists per game and an assist percentage of 28.1%. Jones leads with an assist-to-turnover ratio of 4.8. Those numbers are great for teams that need a second point guard to run things, but the Lakers don't use Vincent that way. They want spacing, defense, and smart decisions. He fits that mold perfectly. Even his advanced stats, while not eye-popping, tell the story of a player who makes winning plays. His player efficiency rating is 7.7, which is below the backup point guard average of 12.1. His win shares per 48 minutes sit at 0.051, and his box plus minus is minus 1.2. But despite those individual marks, the team is better when he's on the floor. His plus 4.1 net rating on and off the court proves it. His fit matters more than his raw numbers. Clutch time has been another spot where Vincent quietly delivered. During the last 5 minutes of close games, the Lakers are plus 7.1 points per 100 possessions with him on the court. That's a small sample size, but it lines up with what he did in Miami. During the 2023 playoffs, he averaged 12.7 points per game and shot 37.8% from deep in 22 playoff games. He was a key piece of that run, and that experience has carried over. Across his career, Vincent has averaged 8.9 points in the postseason while shooting 34.7% from deep. His playoff plus minus per 100 possessions sits at plus 5.2. When the games slow down and every possession counts, Vincent's value rises. He's used to pressure, used to making shots late in the clock, and used to chasing the best guards around screen. That kind of playoff resume separates him from other backup guards. Guys like Schroeder, Jones, and McConnell have their own strengths. Schroeder can score more. Jones has better assist numbers. McConnell creates chaos. But Vincent gives the Lakers what they need: steady shooting, tough defense, and reliable effort. His strengths fit perfectly into a playoff-style system that values spacing and on-ball defense over raw assists. The Lakers don't need him to be a traditional point guard. They've already got LeBron and Luka to handle that. What they need is someone who can hit open threes, hound ball handlers, and keep the offense flowing when the starters rest. And Gabe Vincent checks every one of those boxes. Even though his numbers don't always jump off the page, the impact is undeniable. The lineups work better when he's in them. The floor opens up more when he spaces the wing, and the opposing guards have a tougher time when he's locked in. He's not there to lead the team, he's there to help them win. And the Lakers are better every time he does exactly that. But what's even crazier, when Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith both play well on the same night, the Lakers shift into another gear entirely. The stats are too consistent to ignore. When these two deliver, the entire team becomes more efficient, more balanced, and way harder to beat. On March 31st against the Rockets, the numbers told the full story. Both Vincent and Finney-Smith scored 20 points each, combining for 40 points on 12 out of 24 from three-point range. That's 50% from deep, and they alone accounted for 75% of the Lakers' 16 made threes. When your bench players are knocking down that many shots from long range, everything on offense opens up. Vincent finished that night with a true shooting percentage of 67.2%, while Finney-Smith's was an incredible 87.5%. You don't often see two role players hitting those efficiency marks in the same game. Their presence stretched the floor, pulled defenders away from the paint, and created space for every other player. That translated directly into results. The Lakers posted an offensive rating of 118.6 when both were on the floor. That's 6.5 points better than their season average. The team also posted a plus 18.6 net rating with both on the court, meaning they outscored the Rockets by nearly 19 points per 100 possessions. It was the first time since the year 2020 that a Lakers bench duo each hit 6 or more threes in the same game. That kind of historical context shows just how rare and impactful this performance was. But what makes them special isn't just what they did one night, it's what happens every time they both bring their A game. The defense also gets a huge boost when they're rolling. Against Houston, they held the Rockets to 31.2% from deep as a team and just 50.3% effective field goal shooting overall. Vincent's pressure on the perimeter disrupted rhythm, while Finney-Smith's rotations and help defense erased opportunities near the rim. Together, they combined for 5 steals and 4 blocks. That's a level of defensive disruption most bench duos can't touch. In small ball lineups with both players in, the Lakers' defensive rating drops to 108.9. That's almost 2 full points better than their season average. That kind of defensive consistency lets the Lakers match up with any team in the league, no matter the style. The advanced metrics confirm the synergy. Vincent had a plus 8 on-off net rating for the game, while Finney-Smith posted a staggering plus 16. Put together, their combined impact netted the team a plus 18.6. Their effective field goal contributions were massive. Vincent's was 64.3%, Finney-Smith's was 85%, and the Lakers' team-wide rate went up nearly 8% when they shared the floor. And when things got tight, they stayed locked in. During the last 5 minutes of that game, Vincent had a clutch plus-minus of plus 7.1, while Finney-Smith had plus 5.3. Combine that, and the Lakers were plus 12.4 in the final stretch with them on the court. Those are the minutes that matter most, and they delivered in every way. Compared to other bench duos around the league, they stack up better than just about anyone. Their combined 28.4 points per game, when both score in double figures, leads all second units in production. Their three-point shooting as a tandem sits at 45%. Their net rating as a pairing, a dominant plus 18.6. And their clutch win percentage when both have strong games is 80%, winning 4 out of 5 games in those situations. Other duos like Kai Jones and Hardy in Dallas, or Josh Okogie and Damian Jones in Phoenix have had some good runs, but none of them match the volume, accuracy, and two-way impact Vincent and Finney-Smith bring. Together, they take about 12.5 threes per game when they're rolling. That's over 40% of the Lakers' total bench three-point attempts. They're not just making shots, they're carrying the spacing load for the entire second unit. The playoff experience adds another level. Vincent played 22 games during the Heat's finals run and shot nearly 38% from deep. Finney-Smith has played in 43 postseason games, bringing consistent defense and floor spacing in every series. When the games slow down and possessions become more valuable, these two already know how to produce under pressure. The team's win-loss record reflects it all. This season, the Lakers are 5-0 when both Vincent and Finney-Smith score at least 15 points. The average margin of victory in those games is 14.2 points. That's over 10 points more than their season average margin. And since the All-Star break, the Lakers are 12-1 against Western Conference opponents, with both playing major roles. The trend is real, and it's not going away. Their combined presence transforms the Lakers into a top 5 two-way unit. That same night, against Houston, they posted an offensive rating of 118.6 and a defensive rating of 108.9 when they shared the court. That kind of balance, where both ends of the floor are locked in, is what teams chase all season. Most benches give you scoring or defense, not both. But with Vincent and Finney-Smith, the Lakers don't have to choose. What makes their impact even more valuable is how little they need the ball. Neither of them dominates usage. Vincent spends most of his time in spot-up situations, knocking down open threes or defending the opponent's primary ball handler. Finney-Smith plays off cuts, sets screens, spaces the corner, and switches on to just about anyone on the other end. They don't need volume to be effective. They just need the opportunity. And when they get it, the numbers jump off the page. They both shoot efficiently, defend hard, and play their roles perfectly. And when both have strong games, it's not just a bonus. It's a recipe for winning. The Lakers play faster, cleaner, and more connected. The ball moves, the floor opens up, and opposing offenses get less room to breathe. Every team wants players like these, but when you've got two of them delivering on the same night, and they're coming off your bench, that's a game changer. The Lakers are already tough with their stars on the floor, but when Vincent and Finney-Smith bring this kind of energy and efficiency, the Lakers become one of the deepest, most dangerous teams in the league. And the numbers prove it every time. And it really is proved here. The difference between the Lakers with Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent and the Lakers without them is night and day. When both are active and playing well, the team doesn't just look sharper, they become a completely different machine. The stats show a team that operates like a contender. Without them, it's a team scrambling to find balance and consistency on both ends of the floor. When they're both in the lineup, the offense explodes. The Lakers posted an offensive rating of 118.6 when Finney-Smith and Vincent were both on the floor, like in the win against the Rockets. That's 6.5 points better per 100 possessions than their season average. Their three-point shooting also jumped significantly. The team normally shoots 35.2% from deep, but with those two in the mix, it climbs to 39.1%. That bump alone makes it harder for opposing defenses to clog the lane or collapse on Luka or LeBron. Without them, the drop is obvious. The Lakers' offensive rating drops to 112.1, nearly 5 points lower. Their three-point percentage dips even further, falling to 33.7%. That's not just inefficient, that's dangerous for a team that depends on spacing to make everything else work. The second unit stops hitting shots, the lane gets crowded, and suddenly, every possession turns into an uphill climb. Defensively, the contrast might be even sharper. When Vincent and Finney-Smith are both playing, the Lakers hold teams to a defensive rating of 108.9. That's elite for small ball lineups. Vincent locks down opposing guards, holding them to 31.2% from three. He forces tough decisions at the top of the key and fights through screens without losing contact. Meanwhile, Finney-Smith guards every position on the floor. He's holding opponents to 5.2% worse shooting at the rim and constantly rotating to cut off passing lanes. They also bring chaos in the best way, forcing 3.2 more turnovers per game when they're on the floor. That means more fast breaks, more transition chances, and fewer second chance looks for opponents. It changes the flow of the entire game. Without them, everything breaks down. The Lakers' defensive rating balloons to 113.4. Opponents shoot nearly 48.1% from the corner, compared to 39.1% when Finney-Smith is out there contesting. The switchability disappears, the second unit can't defend, and suddenly, the Lakers are giving up easy buckets all over the floor. Lineup synergy also takes a major hit, with both Vincent and Finney-Smith sharing minutes. The Lakers post a net rating of plus 18.6. Those lineups move the ball, space the floor, and get stops consistently. And when they go small with Finney-Smith at center, they outscore opponents by 22.1 points per 100 possessions. That's dominant. Take them out of the equation, and the net rating plummets to plus 2.3. That's barely above even, and those lineups only work if LeBron or Luka go nuclear. It's no longer a balanced attack, it's star-dependent and unsustainable for long stretches. The team's record tells the same story. When both Vincent and Finney-Smith score 10 or more points, the Lakers are 18-5. That's a 78% win rate. They've gone 12-1 against Western Conference opponents since the All-Star break with both players active. Those games aren't close either. The Lakers win by an average of 14.2 points when both deliver. That's full team dominance. Without them, it's a completely different season. The Lakers have gone just 9-11 in the games where neither player suits up or produces significantly. The bench drops all the way to 28th in scoring, and they lack consistent perimeter defense or reliable shooting. The difference isn't subtle, it's massive. The efficiency gap is just as wide. With Vincent and Finney-Smith, the team's effective field goal percentage rises to 56.9%. Without them, it drops all the way to 51.2%. Rebounding also takes a hit, dropping from 52.1% to 48.3%. And in tight games, their absence is felt most. The clutch win percentage dips from 80% with them to just 45% without them. Even projected playoff performance swings based on their presence. With them, the Lakers project a true shooting percentage of over 61% in the postseason. Without them, based on last year's numbers, it drops to just under 55%. That kind of efficiency gap in playoff basketball can be the difference between a second-round run and a first-round exit. Dorian Finney-Smith's value lies in how many roles he can fill. He's shooting over 43% on catch-and-shoot threes in his last 10 games. He guards all 5 positions, switches on screens, and still spaces the floor like a wing. The numbers prove it. Lineups with him on the floor just function better. The defense closes out quicker, the rotations are tighter, and shooters get more clean looks. Gabe Vincent brings a totally different impact, but it's just as important. He doesn't dominate the ball or pile up assists, but he spaces the floor, pressures the ball, and makes shots in key moments. He's already shown it on the biggest stage, hitting nearly 38% from deep in the 2023 finals. That kind of playoff reliability is rare from a reserve, and it shows up in his clutch metrics, where the Lakers are plus 7.1 points per 100 possessions with him in the game late. Their games complement each other perfectly. Vincent locks down the point of attack. Finney-Smith covers everything else. Together, they anchor the second unit, hit open threes, and close out quarters with energy and efficiency. That combination is exactly what separates good teams from great ones. The Lakers don't just look better with Vincent and Finney-Smith, they are better. The stats prove it. The wins back it up, and the contrast when they're out makes the case even louder when these two are available and locked in. The Lakers don't play like a team hoping to make the playoffs. They play like a team ready to win in May and June. But what's really important, when the playoffs start, Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent shift into another gear. These two aren't just dependable role players during the regular season. They become high-level producers when it matters most. The advanced metrics, shooting splits, and defensive numbers all point in the same direction. They elevate every time. Let's start with the shooting. Dorian Finney-Smith has always been a reliable three-point shooter, but in the postseason, he takes it up a level. Across his playoff career, he's shooting 41.7% from three. That's a big jump from his regular season mark of 36.1%. And in the 2022 playoffs with Dallas, he averaged 11.7 points per game while hitting 42.9% from deep. He became one of the most trusted floor spacers for Luka during that Western Conference Finals run. What made that performance even more valuable was his timing. He shot 45% from the corners in games where the score was within 5 points. That's not just solid shooting, that's clutch production under pressure. Those shots came when defenses were locked in, and possessions meant everything. Gabe Vincent brought the same energy for the Heat in their finals run. In 22 playoff games during 2023, he averaged 12.7 points per game and knocked down 37.8% of his threes. His pull-up shooting was especially dangerous, hitting 43% of his off-the-dribble threes. That forced defenders to chase him through screens and guard him closer, creating more space for others. His playoff true shooting percentage was 56.2%, almost 2 full points higher than his regular season average. On top of that, lineups with Vincent on the floor during that postseason carried a plus 5.2 net rating. He wasn't just along for the ride, he was one of the reasons the Heat made that run. And then there's the defense. Finney-Smith's switchability gets even more valuable in the playoffs. He's guarded some of the league's best scorers during deep runs, including Nikola Jokic, Devin Booker, and Jason Tatum. In those series, opponents shot 5.2% worse at the rim when Finney-Smith was the primary defender. He's long, quick, and always in the right position. He doesn't chase highlight blocks. He closes off angles and forces tough shots. It's textbook postseason defense. Vincent does his damage on the perimeter. In the Western Conference Finals, he was matched up with Jamal Murray for long stretches and held him to just 32% from three. His on-ball defense is physical and relentless. He forces opposing guards into bad decisions, and his deflections per 36 minutes jumped to 2.8 in the playoffs, up from 2.1 during the regular season. That kind of disruption fuels transition offense, and when he and Finney-Smith are both locked in, the Lakers average 3.1 more fast break points per game in playoff action. Both have stepped up offensively as well when it mattered most. Finney-Smith dropped at least 20 points in 4 playoff games last year, including a 23-point performance in a Game 7 win over the Sun. His ability to hit timely shots and defend multiple positions made him a constant factor. Vincent, meanwhile, delivered 22 points in Game 2 of the 2023 Finals. That game was Miami's only win in the series, and Vincent's shot-making played a huge role. He hit contested shots, ran the offense in big moments, and made life hard for Denver's guards. These performances weren't isolated. They've consistently raised their play when the lights are brightest. When LeBron or Luka draw double teams, the Lakers average 1.32 points per possession when passing out to Finney Smith or Vincent. That's a better return than the team's average across all kick-out passes. These two don't hesitate. They knock down threes or move the ball quickly, keeping the offense flowing. Their advanced metrics show just how much their game elevates in April, May, and June. Finney Smith posts a plus 8.1 net rating in the playoffs, while Vincent comes in at plus 5.2. Their regular season numbers are solid, but those playoff spikes are proof of what they bring when everything's on the line. Finney Smith's win shares per 48 minutes in the playoffs sit at 0.148, while Vincent's are at 0.095. That's well above average for secondary players. Even in clutch moments, their impact stays steady. Finney Smith's effective field goal percentage in clutch playoff minutes is 58.3%. Vincent isn't far behind at 54.7%. In comparison, their regular season clutch shooting sits below those marks. They shoot better, defend harder, and execute sharper when the game slows down. They're also battle-tested. Finney Smith has played in 43 playoff games and was part of Dallas's Western Conference Finals run in 2022. Vincent started in the 2023 Finals for the Heat and logged heavy minutes in critical matchups. In that run, he outpaced Max Strus and Caleb Martin in minutes and offensive production. He was trusted in every high-leverage moment, and that trust continues now in Los Angeles. The Lakers are leaning heavily into that playoff experience. These two bring a combined 65 playoff games to the table. That's not just about minutes. It's about understanding the rhythm of playoff basketball. They know how to adapt to physicality, how to defend without fouling, how to find space when defenders are locked in. That kind of awareness helps teams close out tough series and make deep runs. And Finney Smith and Vincent don't need the ball to make an impact. They hit open shots, defend every position, and execute the game plan without missing rotations. They're not just filling space, they're producing real results. And when the playoffs come around, they go from helpful to essential. The Lakers system with LeBron and Luka depends on having consistent shooters and defenders who don't need plays run for them. Finney Smith and Vincent are exactly that. Their synergy with the stars unlocks the team's most efficient lineups, especially in the half court. In tight playoff games, that's the difference between winning and going home early. They aren't chasing headlines, they're chasing wins. And history shows that when the games matter most, Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent show up ready to deliver. Every stat, every trend, every postseason performance proves it. They've done it before, and they're built to do it again. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.